Fast cars, thrilling races, and dynamic cities are all part of the package. Formula One is one of the most well-known sports on the planet. The races are watched by about 500 million unique spectators. With that many people watching, there's a lot of money to be made through broadcasting and sponsorship arrangements. The Formula One Group is a multi-billion-dollar organization. But what is the most surprising figure when it comes to Formula One success? On social media, it is the fastest-growing sport. That's impressive given what former Formula One boss Bernie Ecclestone remarked just a few years ago. "I'm not interested in Twitter, Facebook, or any of this other rubbish. I'd rather talk to the 70-year-old man with a lot of money." We might just say, "Okay, boomer now." But first and foremost, Bernie Ecclestone is far too old to be a boomer. And second, how did Formula One manage to establish such a great digital brand despite the fact that their chairman had nothing but ignorance for the digital generation? How did the Formula One Group beat off strong hitters such as the Premier League, NBA, and UFC to become the fastest-growing sports league on social media? Ecclestone's grip over the sport was mostly financial, stemming from his pioneering selling of television rights in the late 1970s. However, the Formula One Group controlled the administration, setup, and logistics of each Grand Prix under his guidance, making him one of the wealthiest individuals in the United Kingdom. While Ecclestone was fully aware of how lucrative television rights could be, he was unaware of the rise of digital media. His dislike for Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter stemmed from how he viewed his consumers. The 70-year-old person with a lot of money was his major target group. He couldn't understand why people wanted to reach out to the young generation. "Most of these kids don't have any money," he explained. Formula One has earned the reputation of being an old boys club as a result of this mindset. The race series was experiencing decreasing popularity as well as a drop in sponsorship deals. The majority of money has come from television rights and race hosting fees during the last 3 decades. Even a competent marketing department was missing from Formula One. They were simply not designed for the 21st century. When Liberty Media purchased the Formula One Group in 2017, that changed. They didn't cut any corners and revamped the brand less than a year after the acquisition, replacing the old logo, which sparked a lot of controversy. Official esports tournaments, a fantasy game, a sports betting arrangement, and a machine learning relationship with Amazon were all part of an unparalleled marketing push. But they came one after the other. Let's take a look at how Liberty Media reimagined the Formula One franchise. In contrast to Ecclestone's personal instincts, Liberty Media started with statistics. The first 3 months were dedicated entirely to conducting extensive study into their fan base. They came away with a clear grasp of what the fans wanted, a closer relationship with the sport. They were also able to gather valuable information about which consumer groups to target by studying the findings. One particularly interesting segment of followers is the casual customer, and I believe social media offers a wonderful possibility in that regard. As a result, Liberty Media began to take advantage of the internet's marketing potential. They've greatly enhanced their social media presence in order to communicate more with precisely this type of customer, millennials and followers who are linked through these platforms. Every day, the amount of social content produced across all major platforms is astounding. Thank you, Liberty Media, for the F1 highlight footage that we all watch on YouTube. It also pays off. F1 is the fastest growing major sport on social media for the 3rd year in a row. Check out their YouTube channel. In 2020, they increased their subscriber base from under 2 million to over 4.5 million. More importantly, more than half of the new admirers were under 35 years old. These are fans who have the capacity to keep the sport alive for decades. A lot of outstanding content, such as videos and photographs that can be transformed into engaging social media postings, is the foundation for that success. Formula One is in a strong position in this regard. Unlike other sports, Formula One is responsible for all broadcast logistics. The company then distributes a global stream to its television partners, who each pay a high fee for airing rights. For rebroadcast, those networks add their own commentary and on-screen graphics. In 2018, global broadcast revenues were more than $600 million. Taking care of the broadcast in-house also means Formula One Group owns all of the copyright and has complete control over the material, as well as its design and feel. Formula One has pioneered innovations such as onboard cameras, live graphics, helicopter cameras, and ultra-high definition for decades. leading the world of sports broadcasting. They use 90 cameras, 147 microphones, and 50 miles of cable at each event, collecting approximately 430 hours of live television per season. As a result, the Formula One Broadcast Center, the world's largest and most complicated transportable facility, is at the center of the sports operations. In 2019, F1 drew nearly 500 million unique visitors from around the world to watch live action. When Liberty Media arrived, they immediately began reconsidering all camera positions in order to portray the sport's speed. They also repositioned the microphones on the cars to ensure that TV viewers could hear the distinct sound of the engines. This reimagining of how to capture the sport on camera paved the path for new ways to use the content. F1 announced an agreement with Netflix in 2018 to give them complete editorial control over a 10-part docuseries. Netflix transformed that unique access into enthralling content, which drew in new viewers and even improved Formula One ticket sales. While many of their new activities were aimed at attracting new viewers, they also focused on giving value to its most loyal fans. They rebuilt the F1 app to offer in-depth analysis and real-time information after research revealed that these die-hard fans wanted to go deeper. And, as at the beginning of their strategy, the essential word is data. F1 has teamed up with Amazon Web Services to improve its on-screen graphics with more strategic features. During a Grand Prix, each car has 120 sensors that produce over 1 million telemetry data points each second, which are transmitted from the cars to the pits. To inform spectators and teams about trackside decision-making, this real-time data is integrated with over 69 years of historical race data. As an example of how fancy and technical that sounds, consider the following. Amazon and F1 hope to compare drivers from different eras and produce rankings on each track with the Insight Fastest Driver. Each qualifying season in a driver's career is fed into a machine learning system. It eliminates the car's performance by removing any outlier laps, such as those caused by weather, and comparing them to the driver's teammates. They are then matched against other drivers via a network of teammate relationships, with a rank based on pure speed and a seconds gap to the fastest driver. Liberty Media has launched plenty of digital initiatives that will do more than just help them get fans. It will amass the 21st century's oil, data. F1 will be transformed from a motorsport corporation to an entertainment brand, according to Liberty Media's concept. Their chairman talks about turning each race into a multi-day phenomenon equivalent to the Super Bowl or a heavyweight boxing match in Las Vegas. A multi-day event that takes over the host city and appeals to both casual and die-hard fans. He wants to make racing more competitive, simplify the cars, and turn all drivers into superstars, not just Vettel and Hamilton. This leads us to a more fundamental concern: competitive balance. Hamilton won 4 consecutive world championships. Outside of Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull, a driver on the podium is extremely rare. That's why, beginning in 2021, Liberty Media implemented stricter athletic, technical, and financial standards, including a budget maximum of $145 million per team each season. Those rules are intended to make racing more exciting, increase competitive balance, and improve the sport's financial viability. They are not afraid to make significant changes in order to modernize the sport. The days of Formula One ignoring Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube are long gone. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so post them in the comments area below. And as usual, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified of new videos.